Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I just wanted to share the IVF journey that myself and Gavin went through, all of our ups, downs, plus how we ended up with our gorgeous son Lucas. So now Lucas is 19 months old. So for this story, we need to go all the way back to April 2017. On the 28th of April, I started my first round of injections. I was absolutely terrified because I have a huge phobia of needles. So my plan was to get Gavin to do it. But when it was time to do it, Gavin made me do it. It was good. It was scary as crap, but I did it. Thinking back, it was hard to do, but all I kept going through my brain was that I was going to get somewhere with this. It wasn't just taking needles for the hell of taking needles. I was going to get something out of it. I tried to keep as positive of a mindset as I could through this whole experience. I tried not to think about if it didn't happen, what if this happened, what if that happened, mostly because I've read a lot before I started that IVF journey, and a lot of the time they were saying try to think as positive as you can. Every time you think negatively, something may go wrong. So anyway, we did our first injection, well, technically I got injected, on the 28th of April in 2017. The injections continued for a couple of, I think it was either 5 to 7 days. I'd have to pull the actual form out. And then they start a second injection, so then you're injecting 2 times a night. So at 8 p.m. every night, I had to inject with one needle, and then the second needle. That went for a few days as well. Once I got all the testing, so once you've hit that mark of finishing your injections, you do have to go, well, for me, we had to go and get blood tests done and a scan to see if I had obviously enough eggs for them to take from me. I was very lucky. I had quite a lot of eggs that had matured over the course of my injections. So I was then cleared to take my trigger injection on the 9th of May in 2017. That last injection, I guess, was that last one was really good because I felt like I was getting closer to the end, but it was also scary because I didn't know what to expect of egg collection. You know, you can sit in a room and a nurse will tell you what's going to happen, but I don't think you can understand unless you're in that situation. Once again, I was just thinking about, there's another step and another hurdle that I've gone over. I've finished my injections, I've done my trigger, I've got the eggs. Now what's next for me? So egg collection day came. It was on the 11th of May 2017. I was very nervous going in there, but I think I was more excited than anything because once again, I was ready to make that next step. So for me, they called my name in. I had to take some medication that was to relax me and some Panadine Forte, obviously to kill the pain. They also put is it nitrous oxide? The one that is sort of the stuff they put you on the dentist to make you all drowsy and woozy. So they put that on me, and it was quite cool because on the left they had a monitor up with the ultrasound so you could watch them taking your eggs. It was actually pretty cool. I didn't think I was going to get to see that. I guess it's also a distraction, but it worked. Anyway, after they had taken up as many eggs as they could, they got 10, which was fantastic. I went into, I guess you'd call it sort of like your day surgery where you're getting ready to be discharged. I was in there for probably about 30 minutes before they let me get up and get changed, and it was just basically, you're done, walk out. The next day, they call you in the morning, at least with the fertility centre that I went through. They called me up the next day and to let me know how many eggs had fertilized overnight. We were very lucky. All of ours had fertilized overnight, so we still had 10. Because the 11th of May, when they took my eggs, was a Thursday, they called me obviously on the Friday to let me know. But on Saturday, they closed. So I had all day Saturday wondering and thinking, how are my eggs going? I hope I don't lose any, but trying to stay positive through the whole experience because once again, you need to stay positive and just take it day by day. If you get too overwhelmed with yourself, it's not really going to help your anxiety if you have it. So after this was Sunday, probably about lunchtime, they had actually called me to say that we had more. Well, I think we lost 1 egg on the Sunday, so we were probably down to about 9, maybe 8. I was very relieved because I knew that Tuesday was coming, and Tuesday was when they were going to place the egg back inside. So I felt good going, knowing I was getting closer to that. For me, once again, still having 8 to 9 eggs was a big hurdle that we had jumped. So they just called me, gave me a quick update, and that was it. That was on Sunday. So the Monday came around, and they didn't actually call me on the Monday. The lab didn't. I had the reception call me just to let me know and book in our time for Tuesday morning to get our egg put back in. So Tuesday comes around, and of course I was very nervous. My husband and I did go to work that day. It actually helped because my appointment wasn't until 10, so I was really busy in my brain and trying to get work done and trying not to think about. So we went out to the fertility centre, and it was actually pretty cool. They showed us a picture of our egg, which obviously is now Lucas, and I'd given my phone to Gavin. I'm like, take a photo, this is going to be great, we're always going to want this. And honestly, I think we were just so in awe of what this was and what it could possibly be that neither of us took a photo, so we don't have one. But that's what happens when you go through such a big experience. You just get caught up in the moment sometimes, and I think I'm disappointed a little we don't have that photo, but at the same time, it was just so magical to see something that came from nothing just to come out of thin air like that. It was just, I'm still in awe of it. So they put the egg back inside me, on the Tuesday. Now, we had to wait 2 weeks for the blood test to confirm if obviously I was pregnant or not. So I didn't want to wait that long, and I was having not many symptoms, like just the cramping. On the Tuesday afternoon, I probably had a bit of cramping, and I didn't really feel anything, but I kept saying in my mind, I'm pregnant, this is going to work, everything's going to be fine. Anyway, Sunday came round, so that was 5 days later? Yes, maybe. Anyway, Sunday, I decided I would take a pregnancy test. And to my shock, it was positive. It was very positive. So I ran out, I told Gavin, I'm like, oh my God, look, you're going to be a dad. It's going to be a dad. And I think Gavin also didn't want to get too involved and too excited, just in case something has happened in the meantime, because, it is a real thing to lose a child. And luckily we haven't had to go through that, thank God. But it is real and it can happen. Anyway, so I tested on the Sunday. I also tested probably every 2 days after that. I'll put a snippet of all of the pregnancy tests I've got, and you can see. Until the blood test came, they take your blood. Well, for me, they took my blood at 7 a.m. I had an appointment 2 weeks after my egg was placed back inside me. They do the test at 7 a.m. and they call you anytime after 2 p.m. So obviously I was at work because it's just the day takes too long if you're not at work and not busy. So I got the call, and thankfully my husband and I work at the same place. So I ran downstairs, I grabbed my husband, and we ran outside, and we just said, is it good news? And they said, yes, it is, you're pregnant. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this has actually happened. It worked the first time. It's just a godsend for us because, going through this journey is hard enough. But to be rewarded straight away is just amazing. It was the best feeling I've ever had. I'm sure I cried. I can't remember. I just remember the phone call, and I was so excited. For us, well, at least for myself, during the IVF journey, I think the only thing, other than obviously the nerves, I actually developed fluid around my liver. That was due to obviously all the hormones and all the stuff that's in the injections. I ended up with fluid around my liver. It was quite painful. I think it was at its worst about a week after I got the egg placed back inside me. So while I was waiting in that 2-week wait, it was quite painful. Every time I hit a bump in the car, it would hurt. Every time I stretched, it would hurt. It was hard. So it's definitely one thing I'm not looking forward to going through again next year, but there's not much you can do about it. It goes away on its own. It was about 3 to 4 weeks before it went away. Anyway, guys, I might leave it at that because this is supposed to be just the IVF journey up until we found out when we were pregnant. If you want to know anything, just comment down below, and I'm quite happy to share the whole experience or anything that you want to know. If you're worried about going through this process as I had no one to talk to, no one I really knew who had gone through the process at that time. It was an eye-opener to see what people will do to have children. And you know what, after doing this, I would do it again in a heartbeat. I was very lucky that it worked for the first time for us. Just be mindful it doesn't for everyone. But at the end of the day, you know, you take life as it comes, and we were just blessed to have our gorgeous son Lucas in our life now, and we're just so excited to try again. I also forgot to mention, we actually live in Sydney, so we went through the fertility centre in Liverpool. They were a hell of a lot cheaper than anyone else around because they were 10 grand and upwards. I cannot recommend them enough. The doctors were amazing. The nurses were always there, willing to take a call. Anything that I thought was silly that I wanted to check up on, they were there to talk. They were just amazing. I don't think I could have asked for better nurses. And once again, like I said, we're actually planning on having another child in 2020, so watch out for that video. I'm going to document and record everything I can this time with cameras, you name it. I'm going to do it just so you guys can see basically our life story, because this is us. This is what we do to have children, and I'm so excited to go back. But so if there's anything that I missed that you guys want to know about, just put it down in the comments and I'll write back as soon as I can. There's no silly question when it comes to this process or journey. Everyone's journey through IVF is completely different. And like I said, we're so lucky that we got Lucas first try, and I'm hoping to God that we get blessed with another one first go again. So anyway, wish us luck, and we'll see you all in January 2020.